Hey, I just want to get on here and talk about something that's really, really sad and hard. And it's been in the news a lot. Allie's talked about it a lot. And that is the mom who killed her 3 children, strangled them to death with exercise bands. And they're saying it was postpartum depression, psychosis, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know what, how bad it has to get before you kill all 3 of your children. This is not the first time that a mom has done this. It's always shocking because moms are the protectors. Moms, that's why they have the term mama bear, because we protect. And so when a mom goes off and just loses her, I don't know what, her mind, and kills her children. I mean, 1 child, I can't even imagine, but 3, and 2 of them able to recognize that something's wrong. I just can't even understand that. And so I wanted to talk about my own postpartum depression. And this was a long time ago. We were just about to move to Dallas. So it was January 1985, and I had just had Daniel. So Justin was about 3, and Daniel was newborn, and Ron left when Daniel was just over about a week and a half old, and to come to Dallas for his job that he had just gotten. And the plan was that I was going to stay at home back in Arkansas and recover, and Ron was just going to come home every weekend until, for at least 6 weeks. That was the plan. But the day he left, my grandmother, who I had grown up next door to my whole life, died. And of course there were no cell phones, and so I had to wait until he got all the way to Dallas before I called, and he called me and said, and I had to tell him that she had died. And my mom was, of course, distraught. She had a lot going on anyway, as it was. Our family was in a little bit of chaos, with my sisters and my dad. It had been a crazy probably 5 years. So she was not going to be of any help to me at all, and I knew that pretty quickly. So when Ron came home that weekend for his first trip back, I said, I'm going back with you. So Daniel was 2 weeks old when we moved to Dallas, and I knew no one. And Ron only knew the people at his office. So I was pretty isolated, because now I've got a 3-year-old and a newborn, and scared to death to drive. It's Dallas, Texas. It's too big. So I just didn't go anywhere. And so it was depressing. So you've got postpartum, you lost your grandmother, who, super close to, and nobody to help you. And it was stressful. And I cried a lot. We watched a lot of TV. Justin knew every game show host, and probably a few soap opera characters. So don't judge. Anyway, it was a very hard time. And then when Daniel was 6 weeks old, so now we've been in Dallas about 4 weeks, we got a phone call that my mom was on her deathbed. She was 43 years old, and she had had a brain aneurysm a few weeks before that had finally burst, and she was being pronounced brain dead. So she died. Daniel was 6 weeks old. The funeral was on our 5-year anniversary, and we went back to Dallas. And now I'm totally without any maternal help, no grandmother, no mother. Both of my sisters were, my sister had a baby also who was only 6 months old, and my youngest sister was only 16. So there was no help. Ron's mother lived, I think it's like 8 hours away, and she was teaching school. So there was nobody to help, and I was distraught. I cried. I would just sit down and start crying. I don't remember thinking, oh, I need to cry, or I'm sad about something. I would just cry. I couldn't help it. And I remember Justin just standing there looking at me, and I would try to get it together, and but it was really hard. And then I got to where I was having what I now know is probably like panic attacks. And this was a few months in, so now Daniel's maybe 4 or 5 months old. And I got to where I couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath. And I went to the doctor, and he said, I'm going to give you a prescription of Valium. I didn't know what Valium was. I think I had seen it on an episode of Dallas or something. And the people who took Valium turned out to be, get addicted to it or whatever. It was terrible. So I never filled the prescription. And it scared me so bad that he would think I needed a drug to calm me down or to help me make it through the day. And and I didn't know anything about drugs back then. I didn't know anything about holistic health or anything like that. But something just told me, don't take it. And I didn't. And I, gradually things got better. We joined a church. Shout out to First Baptist Dallas, and that's a whole other story, a testimony of God's faithfulness that I could share. But anyway, I know how being absolutely at the end of your rope feels, but in the depths of my despair, I never wanted to hurt my children. I never did. And I feel so bad for this woman in one sense, because I don't know what that's like, what went through her mind really. But then on the other hand, I've been in those depths, and so I just can't even imagine killing my own children. So if you're feeling though, if you've had a baby recently, even if it's been a year and you're still not feeling right, talk to somebody. Go to a holistic doctor, a functional medicine doctor, somebody that's going to help you with your hormones, or just talk to you. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. So do that. Don't hurt your kids.